Hello, Katie.
Hi.
How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Thanks for taking the time to talk with me.
Yeah, no problem.
Excellent. It's weird. I never actually saw your exit interview. I was looking for it in HubSpot. Could you just tell me like a little bit about how you found us and um, how much how much coursework you did with us and all that. So did you transfer from another school? I'm guessing, or
I actually I got an associate's degree in animation technology.
okay,
And it took me a while to figure out where I wanted to go or what God wanted me to do.
right,
And so I actually didn't go back to school for about 5 years. And then I ended up having a conversation with one of our he was like our adult faith formation at our church,
okay,
and he was talking to me about going back for youth ministry, or theology would be a better way of doing it.
right.
And so, yeah, he actually recommended different colleges, and I said I'd like to keep working, and he was like, well, there's different colleges you could look into. And yeah, I just did some research and help with him, and
Okay.
yeah, found CEU. And
Yeah,
yeah,
okay. Did he know about us before or no?
he had heard about you guys, but he didn't know a lot about
Okay.
you. And he went to school. I'm trying to think of where he went. I think he went to St. Thomas up in Minneapolis, St. Paul
Okay.
area. And so, but he was also a theology teacher at our local Catholic school.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So now
Yeah.
you're from Minnesota, I take it, or no?
Yes, I'm originally from Minnesota. Now I live in South Dakota. So
Oh, you live in South Dakota now. Whereabouts?
Sioux Falls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So
So
right across the border. I'm not that far.
right. So Sioux Falls is like that's like in the southeastern part of the state.
Yes, probably about 45 minutes from Sioux City. So
Okay.
it's not quite the southeast side.
Okay. Got it.
It's
Okay.
in that area though.
Got it. Okay. Excellent.
So
So you
yeah.
got a degree in animation technology. So is that like, like working on like Adobe Animate or things like that?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, so it's a lot like that. And it kind of is a leading point to doing film work for animation.
uh-huh.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, but then I figured I don't really want to do a desk job my whole life.
Right.
So yeah, and I had been working at a Catholic school for a while, and
Hmm.
I thought, I kind of want to do theology. And one thing led to another, and now I actually want to go into chaplaincy at a hospital.
Okay, okay. So
So
do you have any interest in like combining the animation with theology in some way?
yes, I actually originally thought about doing that. I thought about going further into school and maybe creating kind of like Veggie Tales or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, or yeah, more along the lines of a Catholic education and helping little kids understand more about
Uh-huh.
the theology way of the Catholic Church. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, you say little kids and stuff, but you probably know that like a lot of YouTube videos that are not pitched for kids use cartoon animation now.
yes, they do.
I mean, it's really not even mostly a kid thing anymore. I don't think. I mean,
No, it's
that
not
might be
really.
part of it, but yeah. And so I hold that thought. I'm going to ask you a little bit about that maybe later, but
Yeah.
so yeah. But anyway, okay. So you got your degree in animation, and then you decided to come to us. And why did you choose us out of the other places you considered?
Well, I there was a couple of other reasons why. It's just because when I read some alumni talk about it, on your website, I was like, man, this is really interesting. It'd be nice to do this, especially online, and I can still work. And then I read, or I further, I guess I went into it further and looked at a couple of professors and stuff like that, and I got really interested in that. And then I was looking at also the lineup for what you needed for a theology degree, and the classes just looked interesting and very intriguing. So I got really excited.
Okay, good. Were there any professors that we had that you had heard of before, or that you found interesting, or what was it? Just reading their bios and stuff, or what was that like?
Bios, and then also my sister had heard about Chris. I can't even think of his last name.
Paget.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she heard about him, and so then we actually watched a couple of his videos and some things, and we just got really excited about him. So I think I took maybe 3 classes of his.
Okay, yeah, excellent. Excellent.
And then I was actually really excited about taking some Latin classes too.
Okay.
I was a little surprised about that, just because I had little experiences with Latin, being I'm more Midwest, and there's not a lot of Latin masses or anything like that around here.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I just thought that would be really interesting to learn more. And so I did end up taking one of the Latin classes, and I really liked it and I enjoyed it. And I was a little nervous about it too, because I'm not a language person at all.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, how did you end up doing with the Latin course?
I did actually pretty good. I was a little surprised with myself, and it took a lot of work for me, but
yeah,
good.
Yeah. So did you take that with Josh Hood, probably?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
He helped me a lot through that.
Good. Good. Did you take both Latin 1 and Latin 2?
No, just the first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Latin Mass. Is that something you're interested in?
I am, just because I also did Totus Tuus. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
I have, but I've seen it advertised before. But what is it?
It's like a vacation Bible school.
Okay.
But they're more like traveling vacation Bible school, kind of like Net Retreat or something like that.
Okay, I know what Net is for sure.
Yeah.
I think Net is based in Minnesota, isn't it?
Net is in Minnesota, but I don't know where it originated. I actually have a roommate that did Net Ministries for a year.
Okay.
So there's a lot of connections around here of people going out and doing stuff and then coming back here. So
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of in the boondocks when it comes to certain things.
Right. So that's interesting. So I have heard sort of just anecdotally that people, and I'm guessing you're a little younger, maybe in your 20s. Is that about right?
Yeah, 29.
Okay, 29. Yeah, I've heard that people, roughly your age, that there is an increased, interest in the older Latin Mass. Is that true, or is that in your experience, or is that? Are you?
Yeah. I actually there's a family friend priest that we know around here, and he actually explained it to me really well, because I'm not quite a contemporary person when it comes to Mass. I don't really like, having the huge bands and stuff. And I lean more towards traditional, and it was kind of interesting because I talked to him about it, because going through Totus Tuus, I found that it was very, very traditional, very on that side of it. And I didn't grow up with the Latin Masses. I didn't grow up really with a good, religious ed program where I was at. And so I didn't know much about the Catholic Church. And so then going into Totus Tuus, I really questioned that. And this priest helped me so
Hmm.
much with understanding the traditional side of things and more of a contemporary side of things.
Okay.
And I think I lean more towards the traditional.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I mean, I still like and understand where other faiths come from when it comes to it, just because my mom was Lutheran and stuff, and just
Yeah, yeah.
that way, you kind of understand that they love the same God as we do, and they honor and worship the same God we do. It's just I like my tradition. I like I don't know. I like, yeah, I just like the meanings of everything in Mass. I think that's what it is the true meaning
Okay.
of what everything we are doing in Mass is for. And
Yeah, yeah. Is there a Latin mass around where you are, or not?
at St. Joseph's Cathedral, they have a couple,
Uh-huh.
um, and there's more Spanish masses around here than there are
Okay. Okay.
Latin, just
Yeah.
because there's a big population of the Spanish culture around here.
Right. Right. Right.
So it's lacking, but yeah. I know where I grew up, there was one Latin mass that was up in St. James, Minnesota, which was maybe an hour and a half from where I live, so I didn't get that opportunity very often.
Right. 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 Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So now tell me a little bit about your studies with CDU. Were there any particular courses or professors that were really standouts in your mind?
Um
Uh, either good or bad. I guess mainly good, but
yeah.
so,
I'm trying to think of the one professor that I really enjoyed. I actually am gonna go back because it's been a while. I gravitate more towards history side of things.
mhm.
And so, like, it was a lot of fun to be able to learn more about history.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think of his name. It's
Is
been
it Matt
it's
Bunson
been
or
a
Charles
couple.
Reaper?
Sorry, what?
Matt Bunson or Charles Reaper?
I think it was Charles.
Charles
Yeah.
Reaper.
Yes.
Charles is one of our historians, so he probably would have been him, or it could have been Matthew Bunson as well if it were church history.
Yeah, I think I took a couple of both of theirs, but
Yeah.
Charles, I remember his history classes, and I was so excited about those because once again, like growing up around here, you don't get to hear a lot of that kind of stuff or
Right,
learn a
right.
lot about that. And so it was just nice, and he had really nice visuals, and just yeah, that was just really it was really good. I
Okay,
really enjoyed that. Um,
excellent.
yeah, history wise, and then like Chris again, it was nice because he had videos connected with his, and I'm not a good reader.
Right, right,
So, like, it was nice to be able to listen to him talk and then replay it, make notes on where I thought, what was most critical for knowing things. And yeah, that was nice. And
right.
it was just, yeah. And it's always good to see, it's also always good to see the person that
Yeah,
you're learning all this stuff from. It's nice to be able to see them teach you also, and I know online is very different than a regular school, so it was just I was surprised by that too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Uh,
good. So in terms of the courses and stuff, was the media about what you would have liked? Would you wish they were more video, more text, more audio, whatever? I mean, is the mix that we have about what you like?
yeah, it was probably the mix was kind of nice too. I mean, there was a couple classes where I struggled. Vatican II, it was more of the philosophy classes that I struggled with, just
Uh
because I don't think I'm very philosophical minded.
huh.
So
Okay.
I think that's why I struggled with those. But yeah, it was nice because also being able to talk with the professors in the discussion boards, but also like you have that inbox messaging where if I did struggle with something, I could ask, and that was really nice to be able to do that. And
Right.
have that ability to, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting you say that because so philosophy. What did you take? Did you take like Plato and Aristotle, or did you take? You probably didn't take metaphysics.
No, I took Plato, Aristotle. That was actually my last class that I just got done taking.
Okay.
That one I struggled with in some ways. I actually was very, very nervous about the final because I just tests don't go well with me either.
Okay.
And so it was actually nice when I passed that. I was just like, oh my gosh, and my parents heard about it for weeks.
Great.
Yeah, so I was really excited about that, and I'm trying to think of the other one that I kind of struggled with was the Thomas Aquinas Summa one.
Okay, yeah. So who taught that? Was Christine Wood the teacher there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so that one I kind of struggled with. I know that she had her lecture, and then she had not the visual, but she did have the visual aids, and then someone talking throughout it.
Probably Father Bevel Bramwell. Yeah, he was probably the one who recorded that in its original form. Yeah.
Yes. And so that was nice to be able to hear that and then also see it because I printed out those lectures and I highlighted and as he was talking, and so that was nice.
Okay. Is that something that you value a lot, being able to print out lectures?
Yes, I do.
That is the one downside of a video is that unless there's a transcript with it, you're not able to print it out.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that was one thing that I really liked was that, and then because I would print it out, and then it was kind of funny because working at a Catholic school, I would be studying while the kids are doing their homework because I would work at after school program. And some of the kids were so intrigued with the stuff that I was learning, so then they would start reading it.
Right.
And so that was really fun because then also I had, my textbooks and stuff, and they would just go so into that. What textbooks do you have today? And I would give it to them, and they would just start reading. And yeah,
that's neat.
That was like 4th and 5th graders.
Okay.
Yeah. It was very surprising, and they would help me study too. And,
right. So now, are you teaching in a school or in a parish? I guess I missed that.
I am like an education assistant for the preschool at St. Catherine Drexel Elementary.
Okay.
And then I do after school program too.
Okay.
So 7:30 to 6 days.
Okay.
6 o'clock days, and so it was very, very long. Today I would actually be working today too. It'd be nap time right now, but we have no school because of the weather, so I'm sitting here at home.
Oh, okay.
In snowfall.
Okay.
We hit right at the right time. I was like, I don't know if I can have this interview during nap time. And,
yeah, right.
So it worked. So.
Okay, great, excellent. So that's good. So what do you see yourself doing with your degree? Kind of continuing along the path that you're on now? Do you see yourself, getting a master's eventually? Do you see yourself becoming like a teaching your own class, or what do you see in the next several years? Do you think?
I would like to go on with a master's or 4 masters. I want to say a couple years ago, before I actually started doing school with you guys, my family went through some difficult times, and I discovered kind of a calling to chaplaincy.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually volunteering now at a local hospital. And
you mean like hospital chaplaincy?
What?
You mean like hospital chaplaincy?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, or like at a hospice or at a hospice cottage or something like that. And so I've been talking to like local priests about it and just different people about it. And so I'm kind of I'm kind of at a crossroads right now because I want to go for chaplaincy, but I also want to keep furthering my education in theology.
Right.
So I know in the future I really do want to
Right. Right.
go for a master's in theology.
Okay. Would you consider us for your master's?
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
I really would, just because
Good.
I loved how you guys did things, and I
Good.
love
Good.
the
You would take some couple courses with me maybe if you did the master's. So.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, you've probably seen a few of my videos are floating around the undergrad courses too. So
Yeah, you do look familiar. So
yeah. So so at any rate, let me ask you this: like, what can we do to sort of better reach kind of people in your I don't know if I want to say age group or but that is a group that we would like to get more students out of people kind of in their 20s who maybe did a little bit of college earlier on but didn't finish. Like you found us through just Google searching, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, I did a little bit of that, and then I actually looked up. I'm trying to remember how I looked you guys up, because I do remember looking on Google, but then I also remember looking at different colleges that like the Augustine Institute, and then I looked for related subjects of Augustine Institute, and you guys popped up.
Right.
And so that was one thing I think that's a big part of it, is just the looking up and actually looking for a good college too.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because I don't know. I'm kind of at that's the other thing that's kind of hard, is because I'm kind of at the middle stage of different generations.
Right.
And so I'm not really sure how the younger group would look up, because I'm more of kind of in the older part.
Right.
So, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Just because I don't use the web very often anymore.
Right.
And so that's the other thing. I guess I think the other part would probably be is trying to hit up the different dioceses and stuff, and looking more further into, because that's the other thing, like there's a lot of people out there that are interested in theology or interested in learning about different history, or different parts of the Catholic Church, and just having the resources would be nice, just to have that, and then it'd further their interest, kind of a thing.
Right.
I know when I was younger, I always wanted to know more about the Catholic Church, and I didn't have a lot of resources except for the priests around here.
Yeah.
And sometimes, priests can be a little intimidating when you're, a fifth grader or a sixth grader. And
correct. That's right.
And so I think with the younger group or the younger generation, I think if they had that, they'd want to further their education in the church.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so. So if we were gonna, improve ourselves, like what could we be doing that we're not doing? Is there a specific like coursework that you would like to see? You would have liked to have seen different faculty, different sort of design of courses, anything like that you think we would be an improvement over what we're doing now? What would you say that would be, do you think?
I think a big part, I know we had like the weekly discussion boards, and then like sometimes there's different assignments or the weekly quizzes. I know what I really liked was, again, with the Latin course, we had our book, and inside it he would give us an assignment for inside it, and then we would have to fill it out.
Oh, in Disque, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's something new we just added, by the way. We didn't used to have that. So
oh, really?
yeah,
I really liked that,
I think we brought that in last year.
okay.
So yeah, that sort of integrative, sort of what do you call it? A interactive textbook, I guess, or e-textbook or whatever. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because then he could actually see if we were understanding it
Mm-hmm.
more than just the quizzes or the discussion. Because sometimes I got a little intimidated with the discussions because other students were putting their input in, and then it was just like, okay, I can put in mine, but it sounds a lot like this person's still.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was kind of hard because
Right,
I didn't want to sound like I was repeating.
Yeah. That's interesting. So we've kind of have thought about doing more of that, like in terms of, well, discussions and stuff are kind of inherently interactive, but like for instance, having more like exercises where that are sort of where the computer actually interacts with you more, kind of like Disque does, where you can kind of see how your own understanding is progressing, that kind of thing. And the other thing that that I've been encouraging a lot, I don't know how you feel about this, is kind of having a little bit more live interaction, kind of like what we're doing, but maybe in the context of a course. Where you could have a live discussion group that's a little bit less, intimidating, because people could talk or they could just sit and listen, and either way that they could feel like they're interacting with a live person.
That would be nice. Yeah, because then I think just because I know I'm more like I need visual and I need picture, and so it'd be kind of nice to be able to have a discussion with someone and maybe understand it a little bit better, or because you only can get so much when it comes to like writing and vocalization, because you don't. I don't know. I also think you don't get like I don't know how to explain it. I'm trying. Like you don't get the social part of it, or like
that's right. The social aspect of learning is actually very important. I mean, that's something about the human brain is wired to learn things when the learning is attached to a human personality.
The personality aspect too. I think, like, for instance, if you message someone, sometimes you don't understand the full thing. Like, you don't get the undertones with it, the vocal undertones, because it's just a message.
Right.
So it'd be nice to be able to get the full aspect, because sometimes I like to joke around, but you don't hear that in a vocal thing, so it could be taken different ways. Right. And so I don't know.
Right.
If that makes sense.
So let me circle around back to what you said earlier about this animation. I mentioned videos and stuff. I'm sort of our main video person, as well as being the academic dean, as well as wearing a couple other hats. Like I'm a professor also, but I've actually been wanting to learn how to do. I mean, it depends on what you mean by animation. I'm assuming like you're talking about like more like cartoon animation.
Yes.
I mean, I do all kinds of animations with text and just making things move on the screen, but I mean, are you familiar with Adobe Creative Cloud at all?
Yes. I use more like Adobe. I'm trying to think of like Illustrator and Photoshop and
right.
It was more Illustrator, and then more into the videos. We did some of the Maya programming,
right,
which is kind of different because it's more for Mac software or Mac computer. But yeah, stuff like that. I really enjoyed working with Illustrator just because then you
Mhm.
can use different type and I don't know. It's just nice,
Right.
especially when you can cross with Adobe. You can cross into other programs and use what you used in Illustrator to use in a different.
Yeah, yeah. So kind of where I'm at is these are sort of instructional videos, in essence. So the video itself is essentially a person talking at a camera, right? And so to kind of liven that up a little bit, I add obviously images. You try to add elements of humor and entertainment. Um, you try to sort of break the material into sections so you get so the person watching can get a sense of seeing their own understanding progress. But one of the things I've definitely wanted to branch out into is that kind of cartoon animation that you kind of see in like Vox. I don't know if you ever watch Vox videos. They do it there sometimes. I've seen PragerU videos do it. I've seen like even these like tech corporate commercial type videos will frequently, when they're trying to introduce a product, will um, have little even 2D simple stick animation and stuff like that. I've been wanting to kind of learn how to do that.
Yeah. There was actually when I was taking the ancient civilization courses,
Yeah.
um there was actually one gentleman that I looked up on YouTube that kind of helped me through the course because it was very fast paced and he used animation.
Right.
I'm trying to think of what his thing was called. It was like history. Oh man.
I've seen several. There's several people on YouTube that have like a history channel and stuff, and I've seen them do
Yeah.
all kinds of fun things. Like one of them is where they'll have like this sort of silly guy at a with like a in front of a white screen, and he'll have like a it'll be real minimalist. So he'll have like a chalkboard there, and he'll be sitting there, and then they'll break out, and then occasionally the animation will be showing a picture of Socrates, and like his mouth will be moving and stuff like that, and so you can see the words coming out of his
Yeah.
mouth and stuff. Yeah, I've seen that. So I'm just wondering, like, with these cartoons, are there like templates that you kind of would recommend to start out with, or like, because I know there's ones you can buy like animation packages and stuff, and you can kind of start out with those. And
Yeah, I know the software that I got when I was in college, it had all of the stuff with it, and it was like it had the
is it
illustration.
Adobe Animate?
It had yeah, it had
Oh, Adobe Illustrate.
yes,
Okay.
and it
Because
had
Adobe Animate is 3D, I think, but Adobe
it was Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop were both
Photoshop.
in
Okay.
there. And then there was what is it? Adobe Action.
Action. Okay.
I think it was in it, and there's several different things. I only use the Photoshop and Illustrator anymore, and I
Okay.
actually make calendars for the family and stuff with that.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Right. Interesting. So, would you have any interest in working on projects with us? You,
yeah,
because that, like I said, it's sort of fortuitous that I'm talking to you because this is an area I kind of have been wanting to get into. And maybe there's a way that we could either pay you, or maybe we could work out a deal where you could get reduced or free tuition for courses or something like that if you wanted to do a master's with us or something in exchange for doing some work on video projects.
yeah.
So something to think about. I don't know. Do you have an Adobe account now?
I do. It's not really an account. It's because my software came with my college, so I actually just own it.
Okay, so you're not a Creative Cloud subscriber then, where you have the
No,
whole.
I'm not. Not
Okay,
anymore.
okay.
I know I used to be online, but when I graduated with that, I
Okay.
ended up getting the programs.
Okay. Okay.
So
Do you have any work that you've done like on YouTube or anything?
no, not on YouTube. I do have some. I'd have to dig it out because it's on my other computer. I actually had my computer crash not too long after I graduated with that degree.
Uh-oh.
So a lot of my work is on there. Um, so I'd have to get that to you.
Okay.
I'll have to find that.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's follow up with this, and you know, you can go to my channel and you can most of the stuff I put in classes are just on my YouTube channel. So, but
Okay.
what I've kind of been wanting to do, just to kind of jazz it up a little bit, is to instead of a person kind of yakking, show like something happening with you know like a cartoon.
Yeah, like getting
People.
more action into it.
Exactly, yeah. So just as a kind of a way of mixing it up a little bit. So, the way that I'm mixing it up now is I'll add like moving images, like with, I don't know if you know what a Ken Burns effect is, where you basically you set a full image there and you kind of will make the image move as the person's talking. So it just gives the person something to look at while the information's flowing, and of course the image is going to be directly relevant to what's being said. Or sometimes you throw in like actual moving footage, like true B-roll, or you have textual animation on the screen of words or phrases or key things like that you want people to really grasp. But it's sort of that missing element, right? You want to get back to the person from time to time, but at the same time, if I had a little bit of a way to kind of fill in this more, even if it's just with stock images and stuff like that, or stock cartoon figures and things like that, just to show like illustrations of things happening, that are being described in the video, that would be really cool, I think.
Yeah,
So,
that'd be exciting. That'd be
yeah.
nice.
So, and it's mostly for adults. It's not kids. So, but nevertheless, if it's done well, adults will like it. So, yeah. So, at any rate, let's just think about this, and I will I'll follow up with you if you're all interested in working with us on this.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And I'll look up my my earlier works.
Okay, that'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah, and so I'll give you some samples of what I have in mind, so you have a more concrete idea.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And even if it's just taking a little bit of time to teach me how to do it, that would be great. But I have been looking for a while for somebody who knows a little bit about this to kind of work with us. And if that person were interested in getting a master's degree, that would be awesome, because that would be a really good, quid pro quo barter arrangement or something like that. So
yeah, that'd be good.
So I had been wanting to go to maybe, the John Paul II University in San Diego and find somebody there, but you would be even better because you're a CDU alum. So
yeah.
So,
I also know a couple. Well, I know one person who went to that school actually. But yeah, she works in that kind of area as well.
Yeah. So someone who knows a little about film and making really visually engaging videos and stuff. I mean, I think everybody's on a learning curve, right? But I'm kind of an amateur, as you can tell just by looking at my work. I mean, it's okay, but I'm always trying to bring it to a more effective and higher level. So
I completely understand that.
Yeah. Good. So it's not anything complicated. It's mainly taking talking head videos and just making them awesome. So I mean, and making them really engaging and visually appealing and that kind of thing. So
yeah, very true.
Excellent. Well, good. So see if you can find some stuff that you've done, and maybe we can follow up in a week or two and see see if we have anything more we can do with this. Okay.
Yeah, sounds
All right.
good.
Excellent. Well, listen, and we got. Did you go to graduation in November or no?
No, I did not.
Okay. Well, there'll be another graduation in November if you want to come out. I don't know if you want to come to the DC area, but we give you a chance to meet us and some of your fellow students maybe and some of the faculty. So it'll be in November 2nd, I believe, probably at the John Paul II Cultural Center again. So
Okay.
which is in DC. So if you want to come, just let me know or talk to Kathy Vestermark. Yeah,
Okay.
that would be great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
So, well, thanks, Katie.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Well, I'll be in touch with you soon, hopefully. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. And listen, thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. All right. And God bless. And I'll get with you soon. Okay.
Yeah, God bless.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.